Yo, it's your boy Marcus, aka Just One Marcus on the Just One Marcus channel. Now today's video is going to be making What Do You Mean by Justin Bieber into an R&B song. So as you can see here, I already went and put something together, and I did that earlier today to reduce the time that it would take of me filming this video, because my batteries for some reason have been dying pretty quickly. So this just makes it easier to go over everything without like spending hours here thinking of ideas and trying to put stuff together. But I'm gonna go over everything and replay it all so you guys can hear what it sounds like from me playing it and then putting it all together into a project. So let's get right into it. So first thing I did was go and get this What Do You Mean acapella. I pitched it down one semitone just so I could like reduce the chance of me getting copyright striked on wherever I post a song. But this is pretty much what it sounds like. I'm pretty sure I just cut off some of the, okay, I guess not. I thought I cut off some dead air at the beginning, but it's probably just like this. So here's what it sounds like, just the acapella by itself.
What do you mean? Oh, when you nod your head yes, but you wanna say no. What do you mean? Hey, yeah. When you don't want me to move, but you tell me to go. What do you mean?
Honestly, this is a really good quality acapella version that I found. Usually when you find acapellas online, you can still hear like some of the beat in the background and it's just like really low quality. But this actually came out really good, which is great for wanting to make a new beat around it, to make a new song with it. So after I put the acapella into the project, I just went and soloed one part of the verse here. Whoops. So just like this. And then I went and played a pad, which I'm gonna play for you. Right now, so you can hear it played into the verse.
What do you mean? Oh, when you nod your head yes, but you wanna say no. What do you mean? Hey, yeah. When you don't want me to move, but you tell me to go. What do you mean?
Alright, so after I played that pad sound, I pretty much just layered it with these keys. So I copied and pasted this MIDI and put it here, and then just cut some of the notes off so that they weren't interfering with the melody that was playing on the pad. And then for the second part, when we get to it, I pretty much just like double timed the chord pattern so that it was playing more of a groove instead of just static notes. So here's what it sounds like with the acapella, the pad I just played, and then the keys that I copied and pasted and then edited after.
Oh, when you nod your head yes, but you wanna say no. What do you mean? Hey, yeah. When you don't want me to move, but you tell me to go. What do you mean? Oh.
Just that right there sounds so smooth. Like right after I did that, I just felt an R&B vibe so much. So then after that is when I went into this bass kick type of thing that I played, which I'll show you right now.
But you tell me to go. What do you mean? Oh, when you nod your head yes, but you wanna say no. What do you mean? Hey, yeah. When you don't want me to move, but you tell me to go. What do you mean?
Once I played that bass kick, I still wanted to keep like a chill vibe for this part of the song. So as you can see here, I didn't add a kick, a snare yet, but I did add a snap. So this is just a snap sound here. And it's pretty simple, but I'll just play it for you anyways.
Want me to move, but you tell me to go. What do you mean?
after the snap, as you can see, I added some hi-hats. Now I didn't play these hi-hats, I just drew them in. So I'll just play right now what it sounds like with these hi-hats, and then that'll be the end of this part of the section right here. So yeah, it pretty much just repeats itself again for the second bar right here. So that concludes this first section here. And now we can move on to what it progresses to in the second part. Okay, so the snap, as you can see here, stays the same. It's the same pattern as the first part. But these keys, you can clearly see there's more going on. So like I said before, I just like double time the key pattern here, or so that the chords were playing in like a staccato, I guess, instead of legato. I think that's the musical term. So let me just go. I didn't play this part. Like I said, I copied and pasted the pad MIDI and then edited this in afterwards. So I'm gonna play everything that stayed the same for the first part, but then on top of that, play it with these new keys right here. The hats for this second part also stay the same, so I'll just have them soloed here for when I play the next part, which honestly we can show what the open hat was. And with this open hat, I also drew it in. Usually the only thing I like playing the drums for is the kick and snare pattern, unless I'm doing like maybe a boom bap type of beat where I want to play like the hi-hat, the kick, and the snare all together when I'm playing the drum pattern. But here is what the open hat sounds like in this second part.
What do you mean? Oh, what do you mean? Said you're running out of time. What do you mean? Oh, what do you mean? Better make up your mind. What do you mean?
Now we'll move on to the snare next. I'm gonna take this part out and then play for you what I actually did play, so you can hear what it sounds like real time of me playing it.
What do you mean? Oh, what do you mean? Said you're running out of time. What do you mean? Oh, what do you mean? Better make up your mind. What do you?
So that's the snare pattern right there. Now finally, lastly, the kick for this second part of the first section.
What do you mean? Oh, what do you mean? Said you're running out of time. What do you mean? Oh, what do you mean? Better make up your mind. What do you mean?
All right, we are done with that first section. Now moving on to this second part, which is more like the verse. I pretty much have the same pad here. I just took out some of the melody, so it wasn't taking away from what Justin was singing in the verse. And other than that, the snap also stays the same pretty much throughout the whole song. But what did change here is instead of using this bass kick, I added an 808. So let me show you what that sounds like.
You're so indecisive, what I'm saying. Trying to catch the beat, make up your heart. Don't know if you're happy or complaining. Don't want for us to win, where do I stand?
With the kick here, I pretty much just layered it with the MIDI from the 808 and then doubled some of the hits on the kick. So I'll pull up the MIDI and then show you what it all sounds like.
You're so indecisive what I'm saying. Trying to catch the beat, make up your heart. Don't know if you're happy or complaining. Don't want for us to win, where do I...
Now the way I patterned this new song around Justin's vocals was having a calm section go into a more energetic section, going back into a calm section, going back into an energetic section. So I pretty much just did that so that it wouldn't get boring playing throughout, and it would go from, I guess, like a roller coaster of emotions in a way, or just like having you at a calm level, then bringing you up, and then bringing you back down, and then bringing you up again. So that is it for this first part of the verse section. Now let me go into how I brought the energy up for the second part. So the acapella, the pad, and the snap are all the same as this first part, but everything else I pretty much changed to give it more energy. So I guess we can start with the hi-hats and open hat, and then we'll work our way back into the kick, the snare, and the 808. So with the hi-hat here, as you can see, there's a lot more notes than the first section that I played earlier. Again, with this, I just drew it in. What I did though was I had some of the notes have more velocity than the other ones, so pretty much every off note had less velocity. What that does is give it more of like a realistic sound instead of just having everything be at the same velocity, because that's just not realistic. So let me actually just solo the hi-hats by themselves to show you what I'm talking about. All right, so I'm gonna play the hi-hats once how I have them here, and then I'm gonna play it again all at full velocity, and then go back and forth between them just to show you what the difference I'm talking about is. So you could definitely hear there what I'm talking about, how having them at different velocities gives it more of a realistic sound than just having them all at the same velocity. Now let me go and play these hi-hats in with everything else that's also playing in this second part of the verse.
First you wanna go to the left, then you wanna turn right. Wanna argue all day, making love all night.
Yeah, so it's pretty much just that same pattern repeating throughout the whole thing. Next, I'll show you what I did differently with the open hats from this first chorus section to the verse section. So from what I remember from earlier today, I didn't play these open hats in either. I just penciled them in with the draw tool within MIDI. But I'm just gonna play them anyways right now, just because I feel like playing it live and feeling the groove of the beat. And I feel like it's more entertaining for everyone to see that also. So I'm gonna delete this right here and then go and record this back in of me playing it live right now.
First you wanna go to the left, then you wanna turn right. Wanna argue all day, making love all night. First you're up, then you're down, and in between. Oh, I really wanna know, what do you...
For the rest of this, I'm actually just gonna play the snare and the kick and the 808 back in live to make it flow more, and then that'll show the rest of this section right here.
First you wanna go to the left, then you wanna turn right. Wanna argue all day, making love all night. First you're up, then you're down, and in between. Oh, I really wanna know, what do you...
The kick stayed the same here as his first part because the bass wasn't as energetic and it was only playing on some of the notes. So I'm just gonna leave the kick here. I'm not gonna go over it again, but now I'm gonna delete this bass right here and then play it in new of me doing it live right now.
First you wanna go to the left, then you wanna turn right. Wanna argue all day, making love all night. First you're up, then you're down, and in between.
the last component of this whole remake was just this FX sound that I got. I pretty much just warped it so it would fit the time that I wanted it to within the beat. So I'm just gonna play it going from the chorus to the verse and then from the verse back to the chorus. Then I'm gonna play the whole thing for you in snippets one more time at the end. But the full mixed and mastered version of this remake is gonna be on my beat channel, Prod Just One Marcus. So go subscribe there. It's gonna be up the next day after this was uploaded at 11 a.m. And then I'll probably leave a SoundCloud link over there as well, so you can just listen to it whenever you want without having to go through YouTube and having that use up more like data or connection or whatever. So here's how I had the FX come in and out for every single section.
Better make up your mind. You're so sweet. Oh, I really wanna know what you mean.
Sorry if the camera angle is a bit different. My battery died and I had to get my other one, which I haven't used in a really long time, so I don't even know if it works that well, but it should be good enough to help me finish this video. But anyways, I'm pretty sure what I was saying before my camera battery died was adding a sweep FX to your beat or just transition FX in general help the transitions from a verse to a chorus or vice versa sound a lot better than if it just were to abruptly change the whole thing. Like, it gives the listener a feeling that something is about to change instead of a pattern playing and then just abruptly a completely different pattern starting after that, which could work if it's depending on what type of like style you're going for. But I would say, like, more often than not, having a transition FX or even reversing like a cymbal into a crash sounds good too. Really makes the transitions between verses and choruses sound a lot better. But yeah, that's pretty much everything I did to make this remake. This verse part here is pretty much the same as this one. Just as I can see here, I forgot to copy and paste this open hat over. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna play some snippets at the end of this of each part just so you can hear it one more time. But leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. It really helps grow my channel. Go subscribe to my beat channel as well. It's going to be linked in the description so you don't miss when I upload the mixed and mastered version of this, along with the SoundCloud link so you can listen to it if you like how this sounded. Thanks for watching. Hope everybody's staying safe, and peace.
What do you mean? Oh, when you nod your head yes, but you wanna say no. What do you mean? Oh, what do you mean? Better make up your mind. What do you mean? You're so indecisive. What I'm saying, trying to catch the beat, make up your night. If you're up, then you're down, and in between. Oh, I really wanna know what do you mean? Oh, when you